Welcome back. The pandemic, of course, left thousands of Metro Detroit families forever altered, and that heartache led to a new effort to remember the lives lost to COVID-19, and I wanted to talk about that this morning as well. Joining us, Rochelle Riley, very familiar face and voice to Detroiters, the director of Detroit's Office of Arts, Culture, and Entrepreneurship, and Rachel Frierson, who is the director of programming for the Detroit Riverfront Conservancy. Happy 4th of July to both of you. Great to have you here today. And Rochelle, let me start with you, and I'm going to assume that, like so many other Detroiters, you know way too many names and faces that we lost over the last year and a half.
It has been heartbreaking from the beginning and continues to be heartbreaking. And one of the things that we wanted to do, thanks to folks like Rachel, is to focus more on healing, making sure that we're helping people get to a point where we are really savoring those memories, the good memories, but not constantly thinking about death. So we wanted to find something bright and exciting. It was last summer that we did the 15 funeral processions around Belle Isle. So this time we want to take thousands of happy memories and do something great with them with this huge arts installation.
And Rachel, for the Conservancy to be involved, I think it makes sense really as we start to understand that the mission of the Riverfront more and more is to become a gathering place, right? A collection point for Detroiters.
100%. The Riverfront is somewhere where people go when they celebrate, a wedding or a graduation, but it's also somewhere where people go when they contemplate difficulties in their lives. And so this past year, we've really been a space for people to be outside and to gather and to do whatever they need to do. So it really made sense when the city approached us on a large-scale memorial project, how we could be involved.
Yeah, we had the ribbon cutting, sort of the kickoff of this just a couple of weeks ago. But Rochelle, it's going to be taking shape here over the next couple of months as we head toward the end of the summer. What should people expect from it?
Well, what we're asking people to do is, and this is organizations, churches, any group can do this, host what's called a making station. This is what Rachel calls the space. It can be a card table in your neighborhood or a big table at a banquet hall, and make these packets. She has a couple she can hold up. And these packets contain memories, and we're not just looking at loss of life, Devin, we're looking at loss of home, loss of hope, lost jobs, anything that brought you some pain, and you're going to be able to write about it, put it in this packet. We're going to take thousands of them, and they're going to create this large installation that's going to cover a whole wall of the TCF Center. And Cranbrook Art Museum is handling that curation and installation. So we'll be collecting these from around the region. This is not just Detroit, this is a regional.
A point that I really wanted to make sure that we made. This isn't just for Detroiters, which I think a lot of people, the region across, believe that the Riverfront is theirs too. But Rachel, tell me a little bit about this, about the idea of the packets. I think we've seen this have great impact at a lot of different places where people sort of go to remember loved ones. I saw it obviously in Oklahoma City with the things that were attached to the fence around the Murrah building. We saw it at the site of what happened at the World Trade Center. This has become really important that there be a physical, something to touch, something to place in memory, right?
Yeah, this project came to us through Sonia Clark, who's a Cranbrook educated artist, but she's been doing this around the world, world-renowned artist, and it's called the Beaded Prayers Project. We're bringing this to Detroit as the memorial, the Healing Memorial. And so just as Rochelle said, you can make these small, tiny fabric patches inside are sealed with those memories, those intentions to a loved one. And that's very personal between you and what's on the wall. But then gathered together, it's this great tapestry of all those memories, all those feelings, and all those thoughts. So you can use fabric from one of your loved ones or something that's important to you. But the other essential thing is to make sure that you add a bead to it. And all those instructions are on our website, DetroitRiverfront.org/the Healing Memorial.
We're going to make sure we get that link to our website at the Flashpoint page on Click on Detroit as well. How long do you expect that it will all remain in place, Rachel?
So we're going to be collecting these all summer. It's going to be a busy July for us. We're really excited, and just to get all these people to participate. And then Cranbrook will be working on installing these together. And then Rochelle, I'll let her announce the date, but it looks like the end of August we'll be putting this at the TCF.
We're going to unveil this on Detroit Memorial Day, August 31st, 1 year from last year's Detroit Memorial Day, when people will be able to see it for the first time, and it'll stay up all year.
One of the reasons that I think this is so important, Rochelle, and I know you've thought about this a lot, is that we really were never able to, and we've talked about this on the program quite a bit, we were never able to properly grieve the lives that were lost. We weren't able to hold funerals the way that we normally do. We weren't able to hug people who were going through loss. We weren't even able to be with the people as they were dying in too many sad cases. I'm going to assume you see that that's why this is all the more powerful and necessary.
This is as important as it was last year, and it'll be important every year of this pandemic, which is not over. We want to tell people to take those holes in their heart and put those special moments in these packets and then watch it grow all over that wall. And it may outgrow that wall, but it's going to start on that huge wall, that installation where they can see all of those memories and all of that hope.
Rachel, let me let you finish with a few thoughts on that topic as well.
Yeah, this is really important to me personally. I lost my husband last year to cancer. But a lot of us went through those moments where you didn't get to do this grieving process. So I really respect the city and all our partners who have decided to come aboard and really recognize that we are going through something and that we can't just, brush it under the rug, and we should honor and love those people that we lost and all those things that we lost as well. So I really hope you guys join us in this project.
Yeah.
It means a lot to me personally and to us.
Sure, absolutely. And it's going to be one of these things that is this powerful collective moment made up of so many powerful individual and private moments. Thank you both so much. Good luck. And we obviously will be watching with great eagerness as we head toward August 31st. Got to take a quick break. Back with more on Flashpoint right after this.